With everything going on, I thought it would be appropriate to do a video on freedom of speech. I thought a lot about this, because it is such an important subject. However, with everything going on, I had some fears and anxieties about talking about it, because I might get flagged or blocked on platforms that I am just starting to use to spread my messages. But that's when it became so clear that I must do a video on freedom of speech, because speaking the truth, regardless of the consequences, is a necessity of being a hero, and therefore must be done. So let's take an adventure. Freedom of speech is not only core to our beliefs as Americans, but essential to our lives as Christians. So first, let's talk about why freedom of speech is so important politically. It is the backbone to democracy. Without freedom of speech, there is no true voting or choice, but only propaganda-enforced tyranny. Even if you are sure you are on the right side, if you do not let others speak, you are a tyrant and you are in the wrong. That is why Dr. Jordan B. Peterson says, always assume the person you are talking to knows something that you don't. You can always learn from others. If you have blind spots, hearing other points of view can help you grow. If you are right, it can strengthen your point of view and your opinion and your arguments. Without open dialogue, democracy and an honest pursuit of truth is impossible. This is true no matter how offensive. When one speaks the truth, it is an unavoidable fact that you will be offensive to those who do not see the truth or do not want to see the truth. Therefore, limiting freedom of speech on the account of offensiveness and to avoid oppression is actually counterintuitive, because you will not just get rid of faulty opinions, but any opinion of any substance. As Winston Churchill once said, "You have enemies? Good. That means you've stood up for something sometime in your life." But possibly the most dangerous part of limiting freedom of speech is that it will be greatly taken advantage of by the people you would least like to see have that power, power-hungry oppressors. The Founding Fathers knew the fallen nature of man, and that is why they insisted on a government with freedoms and balances to check those who seek to abuse power. Thus, George Washington says, "Freedom of speech may be taken away, and dumb and silent we may be led, like sheep, to the slaughter." He knew the power of freedom of speech and what it gives to the people, and he also knew the checks that it gives to those in power. He also knew that if it is taken away, tyranny and oppression would run rampant. That is why every evil government takes away freedom of speech. That is true in the fictional world, like in George Orwell's 1984, or in my book, Fleeing Tiamat. But also in historical examples, like Hitler's Germany, modern-day North Korea, and now, apparently big tech companies like Twitter. Freedom of speech is always the first right to be stripped by totalitarian and intolerant societies. As Christians, it is even more important. Standing up and speaking the truth is essential to who we are. Not only are we to spread the gospel in our words and actions, but speaking the truth is a necessity in our imitation of Christ. There's a Greek word called logos, which means word. This is the same word that God created the world with when he spoke it into existence. This is the same word that St. John tells us becomes flesh in the beginning of his gospel. It is Christ, the Word of God. So what does this mean? Well, logos is the Word of God. It is truth. And it is truth, the goodness of God that is revealed to us in Jesus Christ when he is made flesh. Like the Father in Genesis, we are required to speak truth, to turn chaos into order, to turn potential into actualization, to actualize good, just as Christ turned death into resurrection. Only truth can actualize the potential goodness of this world into being, and we must speak it. Christians must support hearing the other side. It is part of checking ourselves and our own faults. When we hear the other side and admit our own faults, we die to ourselves and resurrect and become stronger. But if you cut off the other side, you become stale and you wither away and you self-implode. Unfortunately, truth has always been met with opposition. Jesus promised this in the Beatitudes, that we will be persecuted for the kingdom of heaven. This has rung true since the beginning in many different ways. And since the beginning, we must stand strong and speak the truth and continue to speak the truth, no matter what the opposition may be, no matter what the persecutions may be, no matter what the cost may be. Standing strong and speaking the truth, no matter what the cost, is what the adventure of truth is about. So until next time, I'm Stephen Reep, reminding you to be the hero of your own adventure. Quick announcement, guys. Please like and follow and subscribe. Put those notifications on. Put a comment on of what you think about freedom of speech and what's going on, and any other questions you'd like to see. I will probably start posting on other platforms as well, since it seems like YouTube is one of the platforms censoring a lot of people. So I will keep you updated on that in both the description and in the videos and in my posts. I'll see you next time, guys. Be the hero of your own adventure.